my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, happy Monday morning. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Now, I think historically speaking, it can be agreed that the number one cause of conflict worldwide has to be religion. Wars have been fought over it. Billions of lives have been lost in clashes between different belief systems. And so it stands to reason that within our personal relationships, faith can also lead to conflict. And so joining us this morning to navigate and discuss the topic, which is interfaith relationship, is Dr. Eve, our expert. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you, Dr. Eve.
Hello, Kat.
Hi,
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back and just jumping into relationships.
Well, not only into relationships, as Kat is alluding to, probably one of the most difficult aspects of a relationship. I mean, this is like a war zone we're entering into.
This is a tough one. So shall we kick it off with the most important question? Should faith be a reason for choosing a partner?
Faith is a reason for choosing a partner for many people. What I want us to begin to start the conversation with, Leanne, is the fact that people value religion enormously. One way or another, whether you're an atheist or whether you're an absolute practitioner of religion, it is something which is part of us and has to be brought into any kind of intimate relationship. So it creates a lot of conundrums for couples because of the emotiveness of the topic of it. And because not only the emotiveness of between the couple, but in communities, and as you said, worldwide, there is such a story around religion. So you're taking something quite political and really important, and you put it into the intimacy of a person's relationship. So one of the first things that couples have to address when they start courting or when they meet each other is how much value do they place on religion per se. And I don't want people to say, it's not important, it's really nothing to me. It is important. It has an impact.
And perhaps we can get some calls from our viewers who can tell us maybe you are in an interfaith relationship, you've made it work, perhaps you have your own views on how to tackle this and how to approach it, because you were saying during the courting process, so should it be discussed between the two potential partners before you even say we are officially a couple? You then need to say, this is how much I value religion and the role that it plays in my life. These are the principles that I draw from it. Do you agree with them? How do you even broach that topic?
It's absolutely an essential, Kat. It's like a 101 in terms of relationship courtships, that people have to talk about it beforehand. And as I said, even if they say it's not important to me, it may become important. Now, an important, interesting fact that I read was that religion seems to become more important to people as we age. So you could get into a couple relationship, even a marriage at a young age, and then find that actually we're on the same foot in terms of religion. Either we really don't give it a lot of value, a lot of weight, or one person does and we're able to tolerate it. And then as people get older, they find that actually I would like to become much more fundamental, I would like to be practicing more, and the other person is, this is not what we signed up for, how do we manage it? So it is going to be a factor in your life. You know, something like an illness happens, something like a child is born, some kind of natural disaster. You know how we are as people. We kind of go into a place of bargaining with a higher power, and some event will make us say, I am committed now to being religious. I promise if my child survives, if my child is well, I'm going to serve my God. And that might have not been when you signed up. So it's really important that one talks about it and keeps talking about it as you go through your marriage.
I like the way you said as one gets older, it becomes more important to you. But I think a lot of young people don't necessarily put a lot of emphasis on interfaith relationships. Maybe they make the relationship the most important thing, but eventually you come to a place where you are looking for something deeper. You are looking for a way to connect with someone on a more deeper level once the physicalness of the relationship has kind of taken
the
its
sexiness.
You're
allowed to say that.
has become routine. You look for something a bit deeper, right?
Yeah. Now, I tell you what I found really interesting is that I did some research to have a look at have attitudes changed in South Africa specifically around interracial relationships and interfaith relationships since 1995. What do you think? Test the team. What do you think? So 1995, and I'm talking about interracial because we do have to discriminate between race, culture, and religion, but also we know they really are interrelated. So because I couldn't find any statistics on interfaith relationships in South Africa, I looked at interracial. In South Africa, since 1995, there were 330 people as compared to one person where there was interracial relationships. So every one, there were 330 interracial relationships. Here and now, and this was statistics that was looking at 2011, there are 95 interrelationships as interrace relationship as compared to one. So we've done an enormous
Wow.
shift
Yeah.
of looking at tolerance
Yeah.
in South Africa as a society. And I'm wondering if this has expanded into interfaith relationships. And I would love our viewers to let us know that.
Absolutely. So we've opened up our line 0214309881. Give us a call and let us know. Weigh in with your thoughts on this very important topic when it comes to deciding who will be your partner, whether temporary or for life. We'll be back again with Dr. E very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are talking about a very interesting topic, faith within relationships, and our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, is here this morning. If you have a question or a comment, maybe you are in an interfaith relationship, don't you want to please give us a call, 021-430-9881. And I suppose the very first question that I want to ask is, what happens when two people from different faiths fall in love?
They fall in love.
Because you can't choose.
Who you going to fall in love with?
Yeah, let's say you fall in love at first sight and you don't really get a chance to talk about it, and you really can't not love the person just because he's Christian or she's Muslim.
Let's go back to kind of what we were chatting about now in the break, is that people's morality, people's belief systems, people's behavior are based very much on what religion they come from or what they've imbued in terms of the world's religions, because all world's religions teach us wonderful lessons in morality and behavior and belief systems. So I think that from get-go you're going to find somebody whose belief systems, if it's not even about religion yet, their belief systems, their values, if they differ from yours, it might very well mean that their religions differ from yours as well, and that's going to be problematic. All religions say the same thing. You know, we know what all religions say, that there's kindness and humanity and humaneness. We know that, but there also are some differences that people are going to imbue just from religion. So you want to red flag that if it feels like this is really not easy for you because we have such different values. And then you want to extrapolate that with the person and say, well, you know, is this a religious thing for you? How important is religion to you? It's really, and also, what does it mean to you? What does religion mean to you? Because we often say, I really am religious, but what does it really mean to you? How deeply do you want to follow it? And couples who are serious about each other have to really take it down to, well, what does it mean? Are we going to be carrying out every single ritual, or are you quite flexible about the rituals that we carry out? How are we going to go about this? Many marriages as well, and I'd love to hear from the viewers, are based on religion, you know, like an arranged marriage, where people know that this is the number one value in my life, and I'm only going to marry somebody who is of the same faith as me. And love will almost come second to that. You know, I'd love to hear from people if that is your experience of it. How highly do you rate religion?
Yeah. So let's say you've been dating your partner now for however long, but you know, substantial enough for it to be called a proper relationship, if you will, by your definition. And you find out that, okay, we didn't really discuss the religion or the faith thing, but we do need to, because I do see it as important. Is there a way of finding a compromise? Is there a way of saying, I can respect what you believe in, if you respect, not if you, but, and you will respect what I believe in, and we'll move forward in that until at some stage we find that we can't? How do you even do that?
So I think that in the beginning of a relationship, in your first few months and even maybe years, you're still in a pleasing behavior. And before you've done the actual commitment, you're going to agree to a lot of stuff, as we know, generally. And then when there is more of a commitment, and there's things like doing things seriously, like getting married in a community or having children, that's when the crunch comes and you expose what you really do want and what religion really does mean to you. And that can be quite shocking for people. Obviously, in healthy adult relationships, people should be always being flexible and respecting and learning how to negotiate around issues. I don't know if one can compromise around religion. I think that this is something which is really important to you. You must accept it. Do not believe that this person is going to change because of love.
I hear you.
Sure.
Love is not going to conquer it.
I don't know if I completely agree with you, Dr. Eve, saying you don't know if compromise is possible, because I think there are people out there that are making it work that way, where mom believes one thing, dad believes another thing, and there may be their philosophies to say to the children, it's up to you to make your mind up given what we expose you to the world.
That's kind of different, because I don't think that's a compromise. I think that that's an agreement that we are different and we're going to respect each other. A compromise would be, well, I really don't I don't want to change my faith, but because I love you so much, I am going to convert to your faith. And that might not be something sustainable, something that feels comfortable. So
See, I
that
don't
could
know if
be
you're
a
speaking about the
compromise.
same thing. I'm speaking
Tell
about
me.
where, let's say, you, mommy, agree
Yeah.
on that kind of faith system. I agree on this kind of faith. So
Yes.
completely different.
Yes.
So we're going to keep on practicing our own religions and faiths.
Definitely.
And then we'll say to our kids that this is the world we live in, and you are completely able to make up your own mind on what you believe.
Yeah.
And that's how we run our family. I think some people out there are possibly doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I
Well,
do think that that is being done. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think that there can be a compromise in terms of I'm going to surrender my religion, because it could lead to enormous animosity. If you agree to keep your own religions, healthy adult stuff, I love it.
Sure,
Meaty
even
topic.
just talking about it
This
now.
is a
we're-
meaty topic, and we're going to continue with it in a little bit. Give us a call, 021-430-9881 if you want to weigh in.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and happy Monday. We are on SABC3 Live, Large and in Charge, and right now speaking to Dr. Eve about interfaith relationships and how you make those work, especially in this time, in this age of modernity. Give us a call on 021-430-9881 to weigh in. So the next step now we want to find out is what happens when family starts weighing in. And mom, dad, granddad, grandma, uncles are like, yo, what did you bring home?
Because you know it's not just the two of you in the
Who,
relationship.
hey,
eh?
who is
You
this?
bring the family as well.
We do not approve of Dr. Eve because she is not of our faith.
Exactly.
How much
right.
importance should you place on that and make decisions on whether your relationship would continue or not?
You know, Kat, the more I live in the world and the more I practice as a therapist, I realize I know how important the influence of family is.
Yeah.
I wish it weren't, but it is. We kind of are tied to them for life, and how they influence us is absolutely vital
Yeah.
to our feeling well. And it takes a lot of courage, and I think absolutely vital for a couple who start out a relationship together to put up boundaries. You know, it's almost like a velvet glove, a velvet fist of I love you, but this is our culture, this is my choice, this is my family, and this is what my choice is, and I want your approval. And to be able to do that, it's so essential, because others you're not going to be able to have a healthy adult marriage unless you put families in their place. So by being strong and confident as a couple, I think that families will take lessons from you. You know, we are children. We are all children of our families, but we're also, once you get into a committed space, you become a family. You become a very independent family.
Yeah.
And families have to respect that. You develop your own culture, your own religious beliefs.
Yeah.
You really do have to do that in order to succeed.
We've got Leslie on the line right now. Leslie from Durban, good morning. What is your question or comment for Dr. Eve?
Hi, Dr. Eve. It's Leslie. Hi, I'm so glad to speak to you. Dr. Eve, my gran was Hindu and my granny was white. And then they ended up changing to Catholic because she was from a very religious family.
Mm-hmm.
And they had 10 children and about 30 grandchildren.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And they lived ever so happy. They couldn't live without each other. When he died, she couldn't live without him. And then she ended up dying soon after that.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Leslie, may I ask, did you maybe through that time draw some pearls of wisdom on how they made it work? What do you think was the secret to making that interfaith relationship work?
They just loved each other, Kat. They loved each other. They couldn't live without each other. They loved each other. They respected each other. And apartheid, we lived in apartheid times when they were married like that. And he kept on getting locked up because he was married to a white lady.
Wow.
And he had to duck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And eventually, but they just loved together and they loved each other. He comes from a very wealthy family, and they cut him out of the world because he married a white lady.
Wow.
And she was from the royalty, the royal family. She was
Goodness.
very, 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 high up. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. She was beautiful. My daughter looks a bit like her. My middle daughter looks a bit like
Beautiful.
her. Yeah. But, Kat, can I tell you,
Yes.
I've lived with it for years and years and years. I'm 54 now, and I've lived with it for years. People don't want to know me because I look more Indian and et cetera, et cetera. You understand? But I don't have that. You know, I don't have any hatred or anything with my family. I just lived in South Africa all my life, and my gran was the most. She taught me everything I know today. Everything, cooking, cleaning, being the person I am, everything.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it seems at the end of the day, love conquers
I knew you were going to
all.
say that.
But that's exactly.
You're romantic.
Let it.
But listen,
yes,
listen
love
what she
conquers
listen what she
all.
added in. She said, "But Kat, you know, I've had struggle, I've had difficulty." So we have to acknowledge
Sure.
that the relationship has to be able to endure the difficulty. All
Yeah.
I see it as is an added layer of complexity to any relationship. And it doesn't mean that the relationship shouldn't happen. It just means that you have to be adult enough to keep communicating. There's another layer of negotiation, which is not easy.
Sure. We've got time for one more caller.
Yes.
Veronica from Port Elizabeth. Good morning, Veronica. What is your question or comment for Dr. Eve?
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hi.
I don't have a question. I just want to say it's all about respect. Me and my husband's been married for 28 years, and we respect each other with different religions.
So at the end of the day, it's all about that respect.
Yeah.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Thank you so much, Veronica. We're going to keep our lines open, and we're going to have one more a little segment to chat with Dr. Eve. 0214309881.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, our line is open, 0214309881. We're engaging on the topic of interfaith relationships, and we've got Patty on the line right now from Stellenbosch. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
Hi. So great to have you on the line. What is your question or comment for Dr. Eve?
Okay, just in regard to relationships and religion, when I was at college, I met a guy and we were quite serious and we were speaking about marriage, etc.
Yes.
He didn't go to any church regularly, but I was practicing my faith. And he made it clear that if we were to get married, we would have to get married in his church because it would devastate his parents if he didn't. And in retrospect, I'm so glad that that didn't work out because I am now married. I've been married for 26 years. And when I met my hubby, I said to him, I think that, you know, I will never force him to do what I do in terms of my religion, but at the same time, he must never try and stop me. So we had an agreement on that. Some years later, he started coming with me to church, and we've attended interdenominational self-development and parenting courses and things. And we're not in our church because it's an indoctrination that's forced us to stay. It's because we've developed a relationship with God, and we have mutual respect for one another. So it worked well.
Excellent. That's amazing. May I ask, Patty, do you have children?
Yes, 2 children.
Was there ever challenges when it came to bring up your children with your husband in terms of that interfaith or potential conflict or lack thereof?
Never a problem at all. No.
Excellent.
Like, you know, from when they were little, he was part of it, and it wasn't because I said, you must. You know, it was just something that evolved naturally. It's something that he wanted.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful news with us, that it is indeed possible. But I think just like Patty said, she didn't have to force him. He made that decision that I am going to start going to church with you. And
Maybe also because he wasn't deeply attached to any religion to start out with. So he was kind of cool around it, and then naturally he took it on himself. Red flag, which I must always point out, red flags, and which Patty noted, was that the first man that came along said that his family would be devastated.
Yeah.
Now, I reiterate that if you're going to get married and please your family, it's not going to work. Yes, moving on.
One question. I know we're running out of time. What if you are a very religious person and you fall in love with someone who is not religious, who doesn't believe in anything? Could that potentially work? And if not, what problems are you looking to run into in the future?
First of all, I think that it would be very difficult for you to be with somebody who is not going to respect your religion. This is your faith. This is something that you value very highly. And you could only be with somebody who's either going to she has to accept that this is the way that it is. And if it doesn't, it's going to lead to problems because it's something you're very deeply attached to. That's just as simple as it is. And don't think that love, oh God, will conquer all. That's too big. That's
It's too big. It's too
This
big.
is
I
too
don't know.
big.
I think we've had two callers that have been very convincing of the fact that if there's love and respect and
Yes.
that relationship is more
Yeah.
important than
Yeah.
anything, and the fact that you love each other is important.
Yeah.
You
Now we just have to check to the other 30
You
million.
can. You know what I mean? We can do that. How about a survey
I've got a
on
poll.
on our
I've got a poll, right?
on
There's
Twitter
a poll
or
on at the
Facebook?
moment, so you can fill that in and tell us what you think about it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
go fill it in.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, we hope that was
Love this
enlightening
topic.
for you. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
you were able to at least, grasp some kind of growth from it. Because
Yeah.
love should conquer all.
Love should conquer all. So if Idris can just get his act together, we'll be good to go. Yes!
Dr. E, thank you so much. We'll see you again next week, Monday.
No,
And
I
as-
won't actually.
Not?
I won't.
No,
I'm
where are you
going to be-
going?
I'm going to be working in Johannesburg.
Okay,
So,
well,
sorry.
doing actually fabulous work for the Department of Education. So I'm looking
Excellent.
forward to that.
we look forward to having you
I'll
back.
be back
and
in 2
as
weeks.
Always, thanks, babe. See you at church. Cool.